So now we are back in Sacramento. So we wrapped up that camping fun. Had a great time, didn't want to leave. I'm sort of partway put together this morning. I'm out in Ruby, hanging out, working on videos. And the kids had gone to the store, so I hung out with the dogs and worked on videos. And I'm about to go back inside and visit with my son, his wife, and my grandkids, and just hang out. And then tomorrow we'll be getting back on the road. I have to drop something off at my daughter's house for my granddaughter, and then heading back to Sacramento. I'm in Sacramento. Only had one cup of coffee. Better go make another one. So, I've been making it in the house. Anyway, I'm hanging out with the dogs while my son and the kids were all at the store, and worked on my videos and got myself mostly together. I'll finish doing that in the house. And yeah, so we're just chilling in the van. Dogs are up there chilling in their little place. And I'm getting ready to go back inside. Don't have much going on here because my food and coffee stuff is inside. But I chill out here, and we sleep out here. We're like having our own little mini apartment with everything I need. And then I just take that little black bag in with some things to freshen up and self-care to have in there. And I bring my food or snacks in that bag into the house. So that's what we're doing. It's Sunday, chill day, and we'll be getting back on the road tomorrow. And a couple more days of camping our way back up to Oregon. So stay tuned. And please subscribe if you're not subscribed. I really need subscribers. I've lost 3 for some reason. I don't know if YouTube's glitching out again or what. I'll lose some and I'll get more. I don't know. Anyway, that's, I could really use the help. Please. Like my hand is talking. Please subscribe to Pawsom Fun and Frugal. Anyway, I'm just being silly. Stay tuned and see where we end up next. We're going back up the coast tomorrow. Hi, friends. So I am here in Ruby trying to set up my phone because, yeah. So in the van, and I've been a bad creator and haven't been filming much. I've been kind of stressed, so when I get stressed and like trying to figure things out, sometimes I get so caught up I just kind of like I forget that I should be filming this stuff, because it's the reality of van life when you have to bob and weave because your plans don't go the way you wanted them to. And yeah, I just took off my glasses. That's me. So, I'm in Ashland. So I had the plan, like I said, to go back up the coast. Well, when I got up this morning, I was so exhausted. I had my coffee and my breakfast, and I was still so tired, and I just felt like I was so worn out. And I was starting to think about going back up the winding roads. And Zenji, if you know, Circe and Zenji are my possums of Pawsom Fun and Frugal. And he's starting to have a hard time with these windy road trips. So I decided to give myself and Zenji a break. Circe's used to it. She just rides along. She doesn't like some of it. She doesn't like the windy roads either. They both got a little car sick on the way up here, or way down to Santa Cruz, to California, coming down the 199, which isn't that bad. There were worse routes to take. I tried to take the easiest one, and I enjoyed the drive. But also my chronic pain, my back, when I do a lot of turning, I have this bad habit of leaning into these turns, like people do that, right? And I forget, and I do that, and after a while my back is so worn out. So I think I got there being a bit extra worn out, and the camping and coming back. Santa Cruz has Highway 17, and it's a windy, stressful drive. So I was in Sacramento, and I enjoyed Sacramento. I had a good time with my son and his family, and then I was able to stop back by my daughter's house and see my granddaughter again for her birthday and give her some things that I had gotten her in Santa Cruz, and some funny little stickers that I got so my grandson could have something, right? So my earrings bit. I always notice things when I'm on camera. So I decided that I would play it by ear. Most of me was like, maybe I'll scrap going up the coast. I really wanted to go find those spots that I didn't stay at before, whatever, but the further I got, the more I just was like, because I knew I had to get as far as almost to Redding, to cut over where I wanted to go. I wanted to go to Eureka, because I'd mentioned earlier, Van Life, where I follow, he spends a lot of time up there, and they have great coffee places and stuff, and I thought maybe I would try to check that out because I wanted to get some coffee. But I had ended up buying some coffee in Sacramento. I ended up drinking coffee at my son's, some good coffee he had. And so I feel like I didn't really need coffee. I'm running low on dog food. I'm running low on underwear. Maybe you don't want to hear that. And I'm just exhausted. So I just decided to take the easier route home, quicker way home, and because I was going to stay 2 nights, 1 night at each place I could find and explore, but I'm just so tired and I'm ready to go home. I don't think I really am cut out to be a full-time, and if I have to be a nomad, I can do it, and I will do it with the most positive attitude I can. But because I have a home and I can go be comfortable in my home, there's that part of me that just wants to do that now. I'm tired. That's what I'm looking forward to, is going home to a house and a bed and relaxing. And my body is overtaxed, obviously, is what it is. And I have to listen to my body with chronic pain, and it's telling me that it needs to go and get some rest. So that's what we're going to do. So then I thought I would go to my other favorite campground along I-5 in Dunsmuir, California, which is Castle Craig. And silly me didn't check ahead of time to see if it was even open. I just assumed. I don't know. It's completely closed this whole week. They closed on the 4th and they open on the 10th. And yeah. So I got really close to that and found out it was closed. Stopped at a rest stop 2 miles before it, checked it out, and then was really disappointed. So then I'm stuck. I had, so I don't know if you know, but in rest stops in California, you can stay, some of them are 8 hours. They're changing some to like 6 and 4 hours. So I ended up finding a Vista Point to stop at for 4 hours. I only stayed 3. Sort of by my time, because I can stay in Oregon rest stops up to 12 hours. So I didn't want to overstay, so I had to figure out how to like split the difference. And I had to get gas too, so I knew that would slow me down, which was okay. So I did that. I stayed at the Vista Point, then I stopped and got gas, and then I moved on to here. And it's Ashland. So there's a welcome center, Oregon Welcome Center in Ashland, just before you get into Ashland. And it's very big and very nice, huge bathrooms. They're fairly clean. They used to be really nice, but looks like they're having a little trouble keeping up. And that's understandable with all the cutbacks and stuff. So we're gonna hunker down, relax here for the night, and take off early in the morning and go home. And this is going to be the end of my van life trips for another 6 months. I'm pretty caught up. This video will catch me up on this whole trip. And I will be switching gears, because my channel has many different playlists, and I like to make, if you haven't been following me, budget-friendly meals, both at home and on the road. I have a special diet, which is really challenging, and I used to think I couldn't make meals on the road, but I realized it's actually better and easier than trying to find food that fits my diet. So I did things like, I showed in an earlier video, I have this hot plate, and I have this electric burner, and I've showed that in some other videos, so you can look back and see those. It's warm here in Ashland. I had to put a tank top on it, so I'm going to sleep in that tonight. But I have these small wattage, low wattage electric appliances that I can heat my food up with. And so tonight, I'm going to heat up, it's a microwave meal, but I'm going to take it out of the package and heat it up on the hot plate and put it on the plate and eat it. So that's from the store. Normally, on the way down at home, I will make custom meals for myself and batch cook them and freeze them in servings, and then put them in my ice chest before I leave, and I'll fill the ice chest with easy to heat up meals that I've made, homemade. But on the way back, but I've eaten through all those, and a couple things went bad because I decided I didn't have the appetite for them. Then that's what happens. I get tired of the same thing, because sometimes I'll batch cook, so I bring 2 or 3 of the same thing, and I'm like, I don't want to eat that again. Anyway, so I ate most of the stuff, and a couple of things I had to throw away, but so on the way back, what I usually do is stop at the store and get some easy to heat up already made stuff, because I'm usually really tired and I'm not going to cook at someone else's house and make all these meals. So that's what I did. So I'm going to heat up this meal on my little hot plate and call it a night and get on the road in the morning. And I hope I remember to turn on the camera at some point. So there's my dinner. Put it on there. Just stirring it around. almost ready. Hey guys, so we are on the road. I slept, well, I didn't sleep 12, I stayed 12 hours at the rest stop. I got up and just made some coffee while I got myself dressed and put together and got the van ready for travel and went and used the restroom, took care of my guys, I am home watching one of my favorite van lifers. I think she'd be okay if I was showing that. Just, you can see I'm chilling out. I am so tired. There's the puppies. They're crashed out. He got uncovered. I've been trying to keep them covered. We came home to a very chilly house, and I'm just trying to stay warm and cozy. Yeah, I'm here on my couch in clothes. I immediately went right in, let the dogs go in their yard. They were so happy. I could barely get out of the van. They were so excited to get out of the van and into their home. They went in their yard and they were bouncing around the yard. I should have got videos of that. And then we came in and realized the house is very chilly because nobody's been here. So the evening and morning temperatures here are getting lower, and I have a Nest thermostat, so it's set to keep things from getting too cold. But ooh, it was chilly this morning. It was just above where I had it set. I had it set at 59, and it was like 60 or 61 in the house. Chilly. And but we were glad to be here. I came right in, and then I went, came right in, and I got out of my regular clothes and into my leisure sweats and whatever. Well, this is what I had, because I had put on a leisure top before I left this morning. What I did was I put on one of my leisure tank tops and this sweater yesterday, and but I had jeans on, so I came in and I just got out of my jeans and into a comfy pair of sweats, changed my undergarments to freshen up, and got into my sweatpants so I could be cozy and warm, put some clean socks on, and my slippers, and I hunkered down on the couch. Well, no, not true. That's what I'm doing now. So I went out, I came in, well, I had checked the mail, so I was looking at that, and then I went out and around and checked my gardens. My neighbor was very kind and did a very nice job keeping them watered, and everything looks good out there. A little overgrown, so now I have to look into getting things weeded and mowed. But that's later, not today. And then I went out with my cooler bag and collected everything in the freezer and all of my food that I had in the front of the van, my snacks. Brought all that in, put stuff away in the refrigerator. Most of it I'll go through and eat in the next couple of days just to use it up. And then I just sat down and relaxed, but I realized we were sitting here being chilly, so I got each of the dogs their little blanket. You saw that? And they curled up next to me, and I got myself a blanket and curled up, and I'm just chilling out. I don't have the energy to do anything. Just trying to bring the stuff in from the van out of the cooler. I was just so wiped out, and I guess my caffeine was wearing off a bit, so I was, I had a cup of coffee, and because I didn't want to have to make a second cup, I had these little bars that they have caffeine. They're little protein bars with caffeine, so I had one of those as my second cup of coffee. And that kept me driving. I was fine, but I got home and I was just like, I have a condition called orthostatic hypotension, and that was starting to act up. As soon as I got out of the van, I was like, whoo, I was dizzy. I was standing up. I can't look up, or I get real dizzy. So that's been activated. So it was hard for me to get stuff out of the van, but I did it. Pushed through and just did it because I didn't want stuff to get ruined, spoiled, and I wanted to get it put away. And now I'm just chilling. I am not going to do anything important today because it's not a good idea. This is what happens when I kind of overdo it a little bit. I literally drove straight through, and I don't know what my higher power or whatever that is. If you believe in that, that's up to you. I'm not promoting anything. I'm just saying, for me, I feel like something helped me get home, straight home from that Ashland rest stop. About a 3-hour drive, and I just drove. I did not want to stop. I made sure I had everything I needed: water, coffee, food, everything. And I went to the restroom before I left and made sure the dogs went to the restroom really well, and then we just drove straight through. There was hardly any traffic, which was nice. Last night, too, very little traffic. That was good. There was a little bit once I got into Oregon, into this end of Oregon. But there was some when I started out, too, from the rest stop, but I think that was like morning work traffic. So there's a little traffic. Then it let up for a long time, and then there was, I think I was hitting late morning, other people going to work, whatever. Anyway, I am so grateful to be home and grateful for my house and to my fellow van lifers who are nomads that live full time. Every time I do this, I have a new appreciation, a higher level of appreciation for you and how you live this way. I was just showing, I watch the cat lady van, and she's a full-timer with her cat, and right now she's having some pain issues, and I just, like, she doesn't have the option to go home to a house and what. She's just, that's her van, that's it. And she has to move around because she kind of just camps wherever she can find a free place to stop. So she's in Canada, so they have a little bit more openness about that, I think, seems like. But wow, I totally appreciate people like her who can power through just living that way. I wanted to, and I really wish I could, and maybe I know that I could. I now have all the knowledge and skills that if I have to, I can, and I'll adapt. But since I have a house and I don't have to, I'm grateful for that. So my Ruby the van is parked. I am not going to drive her again until I have to, and I don't think I have any. I have one appointment on Thursday that it's chiropractic, and I could cancel, but actually I could really use that. So I think that's the only outing I'm going to do. I'll have to put a little bit of gas in the van. And that's it. This week, and everything else is next week. I have a phone appointment Friday, but that's it. Yeah. I'm just going to spend the week sort of unwinding from this trip and have to start cleaning out the van and doing laundry and all of that. But that I can take a really long time because I set my van up so that I have everything in, like I have a whole set of clothes just for the van. I put food in the van that I saved just for the van, except for a few things that I buy or whatever along the way. But And then if it's perishable, I just bring it back in the house, and then I start a whole new collection of things to put in the van, and you know, and then I'll take stuff out of my freezer next time, like I mentioned earlier. But I am home, and I'm going to relax. Definitely the rest of today. Maybe a hot bath later, because my body hurts, because it activates everything. My orthostatic thing is going. I am just wiped out. I want to take a nap, but a lot of times if I take a nap, I don't sleep as well at night. So we'll see what happens. So this is the end of this trip, the complete end. And thank you for watching, and thank you for following along on these videos. And if you're not subscribed, because I know there's a lot more viewers than there are subscribers. If I had everybody that viewed my channel as a subscriber, I would actually be making money, but I'm not, because lots of people view my videos, but they don't subscribe to my channel. And that feels unfair, because if I watch someone's videos and I know that I'm gonna, okay, I might watch one video and be like, oh, I don't really like the channel, but I won't watch them again. If I'm gonna keep watching their channel, why not subscribe and help them out? Also, thumbs up, like, and comment if you are curious about anything, or kind feedback is okay. I don't want any negativity. No negativity on this channel. It's a positive channel. That's why I don't discuss controversial issues. But if you have any constructive feedback that is really from your heart, that's fine. If you have comments, you can even say, well, I didn't like this, or I like that, whatever. Anyway, or if you know somebody that might like some of the content on my channel, please share, because that would help me get more viewers and subscribers. So thank you, and I will see you in the next video. Stay tuned. At this point, van life is shut down for the season, for the year probably. And it's going to be about the dogs, and it's going to be about cooking and baking, because the cold weather brings out the cook and baker in me, the specialty diet foods that I like to make. So if you are looking at changing your diet, maybe that could be helpful to you. And I'm going to do some winter cleaning and organizing, and I have a whole bunch of artwork that my mom gave me that I'm going to be adding to my house, and I want to do that with you watching. So stay tuned for the next videos. See what I do in my mobile home as a low-income senior, disabled, with chronic pain, whatever. And remember, I have another channel. I even keep forgetting about the other channel because it's new, and it's a different concept, so I haven't really had time to sit and do videos for that one lately. Been busy with this, so stay tuned and see what I have coming up next. Oh, and the other one is winter also brings out the artist, because can't go outside much. We're going to have a brutal winter, so we're going to be stuck in the house a lot. So there's going to be a lot of art happening. So if you like art, painting, drawing, creative projects, stay tuned for those too. See you in the next one.